Does your old hot rod have one of these? And more specifically, one of those? But it starts like this? Well, good, I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad, but I'm glad you're here. Let's get this thing fixed. If you have an electric choke and it needs an adjustment, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing you need to do is take a quick look at it so you can kind of identify what you're looking at. What we have is a Brawler 750 double pumper. Pretty standard. It's a Holley knockoff. But more importantly, we want to look at our choke. An electric choke is quite obviously a choke that works on electricity. So, as any electrical item, we need a ground. Here it is. It goes right from the choke cap to the body of the carb. And you need a good power source. This needs to be a switched power source, so it's not on all the time. A lot of you guys might be saying, well, how do I get a good power source? You want the choke to kind of have its own power source because you don't want to tap off of something like the ignition or the coil or something like that because you don't want to interfere with any of that. And if you have a 6-volt ignition, it won't even open the choke all the way. So you need a good 12-volt source, and it should probably be its own source. A lot of you guys in your old hot rods don't have a good choke wire. It might have been cut off or just not used, or it's gone, or a raccoon ate it, or it disappeared into another dimension. I don't know, but it just might not be there. So if that's true, try to tap a good source from the fuse block underneath the dash or somewhere else. Here's an example of a good source. Key is off. There's no light in my test light. Key is on. Light's on. Now don't mind the fuel pump humming in the back, but I don't know what this fuse is, but you would pick a fuse that's well suited and has a good amp rating to run your choke in addition to whatever it's already running on the label. So that's just a quick and dirty method. Get a test light, find something that has 12 volts when the key is on, and it's not when the key is off, because you don't want the choke always being powered. Now these kind of carbs have two adjustments. One is the choke cap, and the other is the fast idle screw. The choke cap itself can get loosened and rotated in order to operate the choke itself. Inside the choke cap is a bimetallic spring or a bimetallic strip, which is two pieces of metal that are bonded together, and as they grow, as they get heated, they grow in different rates, and it actually twists the spring. When it twists the spring, it actually activates this lever arm and pulls down on your choke, and that's what gives you your choke as this warms up with electrical energy. And here is our choke cam, our fast idle cam. And underneath it, there is a screw right down here. And what that screw does is it controls the idle while the choke is closed to be faster than your regular curb idle. That way the engine has an opportunity to heat up faster. And the fast idle speed screw needs to be set in order to get the engine RPM above idle RPM while it's warming up and the choke is closed. Check with the manufacturer what they want you to have it set at. I'm going to set mine at probably about 1400. Now the first thing I'm noticing about mine is that my cam is not touching my fast idle screw. So before I do anything else, I'm actually going to give this choke cap a good starting point. So I'm going to loosen all three of these screws that hold the retaining ring down on the choke cap itself. Then I'm going to turn the choke cap until it opens all the way. And then I'm going to back it back down until I have just a little bit of opening. Something like that. So you can see I've backed it back down until I have just a little bit of opening. We're going to lock down these screws right here, and we're going to start with that. I know this is tough to see, but my fast idle screw, which is right here, is not touching the cam itself. If you see, there's space in there. So I'm actually not going to get anything out of that fast idle screw right now. Now that we've got a starting position for the choke cap itself, we're going to start the car, and I'm going to turn the curb idle on the other side up to the speed that I want my idle to be at. If you're in a position like me, where the car doesn't really want to start and do anything, there's going to be a little bit of playing with it that you're going to have to do. So I'm actually going to turn the curb idle screw now just to get it a little bit of a bump. So I'm going to preemptively turn this just a bit. And that was a lot of bit. See the choke starting to open here. So now I'm going to take the choke, manually close it with my fingers, and then I'm going to run this fast idle screw in until I touch the cam. And I think I just about got it right there. Now we're going to start it right back up and turn our idle speed screw back down to our normal desired idle speed. Alright, well, we got our choke adjusted. What I will say is this is never perfect. It's got to be changed with different types of weather and seasons. And it might not even be perfect now. It's probably not. This is something that you tune every time the engine's cold for maybe a week until you can get it dialed in. It's pretty good right now, but you want to know something? The engine's warm now. Choke has been opened. You really only kind of get one attempt at this, say every morning or whenever the engine cools. So if you don't get it on the first try, just try again. Let it cool off and try again. But this should get you guys in the ballpark with the fast idle cam and screw and the choke adjustment. As a general rule of thumb, in colder weather you'd want the choke to be more closed, and in warmer weather you want it to open up sooner. Anyway, just a quick easy one. Hope this helps somebody adjust their choke. Thanks for watching.